deal with airplane peanuts.
So we were thinking that you have your show, I have this movie. We're both off the grid, so to speak. We want to keep podcasts coming out. So we thought a fun thing to do would be, why don't we ask some friends to do episodes for us?
Listen, guys, we're excited to do this, but we know what you know. We read the comments too. We're not going to save the show.
Now here we are, somehow not only doing our own podcast, but somehow doing other guys' podcasts.
Yeah.
This doesn't make any sense at all.
Listen, this is our second episode. We'll see if they give us a third. I mean,
We try and open the door as Sam Morril and Tim Dillon are sitting in here.
oh yeah,
Sorry, guys.
Next
We've gone
up.
a different direction.
yeah. They just brought in bad friends. They're like, just bring them in, please.
Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura have officially been replaced as the hosts of Two Bears, One Cave, while the comedians spend the rest of the summer filming separate upcoming projects. A blockbuster movie role for Tom and a pilot Netflix series for Bert. And in order to keep their podcast afloat in the meantime, New York comics Stavros Halkias and Chris DiStefano have been hand-chosen to fill in as hosts and have already been making some major waves.
First of all, what was it like getting the phone call of this idea just being floated out in the first place?
Well, I got it from a very drunk rep executive from YMH called me, was like, I got a crazy idea. And I was like, he's just calling me from like a boat in Austin and told me about it. And I was immediately in. And, then they told me Stavi was in, and I was like, good, I can't do a podcast unless it's with another Greek. So that's the only success I see in podcasting. And I feel like me and Stav are good together. And, like we've been saying, we're not going to save the show. It's clear in the comments that it's over and there's nothing we can do. We're just going to take Tom and Bert's money until it crashes to the ground.
Well, speaking of episode 1 in the comments, what was your expectations heading into episode 1? And then how have you perceived the reaction?
Our expectations coming out of that, we were hoping and we had faith that the fans would like it. And what Stavi and I have said is, if the fans can still be on our side by episode 4, we've done a good job. Because by episode 5, we're sure they're going to hate us as much as they hate Tom and Bert. So it's just the nature of what it is of podcasting these days, is your fans are just going to inevitably hate you.
Yeah.
We're just trying to get 3 or 4 episodes in before they hate really pours on.
That's funny. There are some harsh fans. Have you thought about talking about poor people or washcloths at all?
We were thinking of maybe making washcloths that say rich, or we were thinking of maybe making washcloths that say quality. We will be making washcloths, and we will be creating some kind of merch that Stavi and I can come up with. We do feel like this is, it's fun for us to be doing this where it's like 90% of the audience is already angry. So it's good. It's like, okay, all right. So you can't really piss people off more.
Like we mentioned briefly at the beginning of this video, the reason for Bert and Tom's summertime hiatus is their 2 upcoming projects that are being filmed miles apart. For Tom, it's his role in the upcoming movie El Tigre, which is an R-rated cartel comedy that is currently being filmed in New Mexico. When asked about this movie, Tom said, quote, "As a fellow business owner, I've always found it inspiring how productive and efficient cartel leaders can be." And while Tom Segura is busy in New Mexico for the next few months, Bert will be roughly 1,300 miles away in Georgia, filming the first season of his upcoming Netflix series, Free Bert, which is a 6-episode sitcom that features Bert Kreischer playing himself as a disgruntled ex-stuntman who, after being fired from his Jackass-type stunt show, is forced into spending a lot more time with his family, including his daughter's elite private high school. Basically, Bert has to try to fit in and become something he's not, followed by chaos and comedy.
I'm living in Atlanta this summer
Yes.
for 2 months, shooting a television show for Netflix. It's called Free Bert. It's you can find the write-up on it. I'm not going to tell you about it. I hope you enjoy it. And you?
So I'm shooting a movie this summer, and we're shooting in New Mexico. It's called El Tigre.
You're in New Mexico. I'm in Atlanta. And we don't have the kind of, I mean this for real. We don't have the kind of budgets where we can just go, hey, let's take privates and meet each other in Austin.
No, it's crazy.
We're really kind of just trying to get shit done. And they're like, what's Tom doing? And I go, I don't fucking, some movie. And you know how I don't listen.
Yeah.
And then I go, it's like El Tigre or something. And all of a sudden, everyone's ears perked up. This is what's cool about this movie. This script has been around for like 20 years.
Like, not quite 20, but probably a dozen.
And every huge movie star has tried to get it made.
Yeah.
Everyone has wanted to do this script. And at some point, it just falls through the cracks for everyone. Everyone has tried to get this. Everyone. When I say everyone, you go, that guy? Yes, him.
Yeah.
Everyone has tried. And now you're making that movie.
I'm making that movie.
And I'm so excited.
I'm so
it's
excited
gonna be,
too, man.
I know that, I'm not even saying the premise. I don't know if you can say the premise, but like it's is a great premise. It is a great premise for you.
We finally got it, and El Tigre is it's a cartel comedy. I can tell you that. Like it's so funny. When I read it, I was like, oh my God, I would love to make this movie. I actually cannot believe that we're really making it.
A lot of people can't believe you're making it. A lot of people are excited for the movie to come out.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like pumped. And the fact that like, I feel like after watching Bad Thoughts, I know all your strengths. I know what you're good at. I know like you're just such a talented actor.
No, thanks,
and
man.
it's going to be fun. I'm so excited for it.
So we were thinking that, you know, you have your show, I have this movie. We're both off the grid, so to speak. We want to keep podcasts coming out. So we thought a fun thing to do would be, why don't we ask some friends to do episodes for us?
We said,
yeah,
who do you want? And I think Chris DiStefano is the funniest guy on a podcast ever.
Oh my God.
Everything he ever says makes me laugh. He is one of the funniest human beings, top to bottom, that I've ever seen. And I just watched an episode of him and Stabby together where they were talking about Catholic school.
Yeah.
And Stabby is my spirit animal.
Speaking of Stavros, how would you rate him as a podcast partner? How would you rate your guys' dynamic together? And then also, if you had to do a marry, kill of Giannis, Sal, and Stavros, what's that shaking up to be?
First of all, I would say Sabi's a great podcast partner, 10 out of 10. He laughs a lot. He volleys it back and forth. He's got a lot of good ideas. He's very smart. He's very clean. For a man of his stature, he's got a very clean butt, smells good. He makes eye contact with me the whole time, which is good. Marry, kill, I would say I'll f Stavi just because he's got a lot of nice cushion, and I just like a big fat ass, and he has the fattest asses of the three of them. And I just know he'd enjoy it and let me kind of just have, he'd let me pig out like we're in the movie Deliverance.
Of course.
I like that. I would say I'd marry Giannis but I haven't put on the Maurice wig. I have Giannis in the Maurice wig as my wife. It's kind of like, it's Puerto Rican woman. It's kind of like who I'm married to now. So it's like just kind of like my life doesn't change that much. I'd kill Sal, but first I'd marry Sal secretly, and we'd fall in love, and we'd have a great, tropical getaway somewhere, and I'd get him to sign some kind of prenuptial agreement that gives me all the money, gives me all his Impractical Joker money upon death.
Yeah.
So that's what I would use. But then what I would do is I would use the money that I've gotten from Sal as my husband who just got murdered, is I give all the money back to his family, and I would just have the most money, but I would give all the money back to his family, and I would give money to my current wife, Giannis, to get her tits done.
All right, that is very thought out. I think that's perfect. And speaking of Sal, I just have to ask, we can cut this out if you don't want to comment on it, but is there a Hey Babe status right now?
Dude, right now there's no Hey Babe status, but Sal and I text and voice note as much as we can. Sal's in the throes of filming Impractical Jokers, because the thing is, people ask when Hey Babe's coming back. We both want to do it, but Hey Babe only existed because at that time Impractical Jokers was off the air. So Impractical Jokers, of course, is, Sal's main priority, which we all understand. So Taste Buds and Hey Babe were around when Impractical Jokers wasn't. So if Impractical Jokers, whenever its time may come, we will definitely want to at least do a short and limited run of them again, because it was just so fun. I miss Sal's very, very soft, moisturized hands on my leg during a podcast.
Yeah, have you thought about creating fake allegations against the other Jokers to get Sal back?
Not fake allegations. I'm going to come in with the real ones, baby. I got the facts.
Guest spots from last week. The Joe Rogan Experience sat down with Joe DeRosa, Khalil Roundtree Jr., Mike Baker, and Mike Vecchione. Joe DeRosa was also on Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast. The Legion of Skanks welcomed Aaron Berg. Chris O'Connor and Ryan O'Neal were on Kill Tony. Charo came all over your mom's house. Sarah Sherman visited Stavi's World. Lisa Gilroy took her shoes off with Rick Glassman. Ricky Valise sat on the couch with Soder. Seth Green stopped by Tiger Belly. Flagrant bought on Fareed Zakaria. Rudy and her sister were back on Bad Friends. Sean Gardini went on the Tim Butterly Show. Camp Gagnon welcomed Matt McCusker. Mark Maron was on Whiskey Ginger. Story Wars was a battle between Red Band, Kurt Metzger, and Tommy Pope. And of course, Two Bears, One Cave was episode 2 of Stavros and Chrissy D.
Which, by the way, what do you think I was thinking of how funny it would be if Bad Thoughts season 2 was just Tom in just a nice gay relationship. Like every episode is like a prestige drama of just Tom with a man.
Yeah.
And it's like that's his bad thought is just being married to a man and being in love.
Yeah.
And like, you know, he's fat again. He's like, what if I could actually live the way I wanted?
Yeah.
Fat and gay.
Yeah.
You know, I could stop all this exercise bullshit.
Yeah.
I could stop
He's like,
working so much.
I could just be Bert.
Yeah.
Sam Altman visited this past weekend with Theo Von. Dax Flame took a ride on the Harland Highway. Des Bishop sat in the way back. Sammy the Bull stopped by the Honeydew. Samantha Bee broke bread with Tom Papa. David Arnett and Paul Stanley did stuff with Howie Mandel. Brian Austin Green stopped by Birdcast. Sagday DePod featured Matthew Broussard. Carter Doherty was on Dad Meat. Steve Ranazizi went on You Know What Dude. Paul Verzi be trippin'. Craig Connett was on Right Now. David James was on The Durag and the Deer Tag. Burbs Rose had on Michael Ian Black. G. Herbo was on The Adam Friedland Show. Derek Drescher was on Jim Norton Can't Save You. Cameron Leedy rode on the Dynamite Rocket Ship. Mike Lawrence stopped by Beautiful Boys and was also on Zach Amico's Morning Zoo with Ryan Long. Ian Fidance went on a second date. Dan St. Germain, Mike Lawrence, and Sean Donnelly experienced being Ian without Jordan. Drew Dunn was on Madhouse. Tuesdays with Stories, Chrissy Chaos, Son of a Boy Dad, The Church, Duncan Trussell Family Hour, Rough Week, The Tim Dillon Show, Cockfight, Are You Garbage, Stuff Island, Solid Show, and Chubby Behemoth all did not have guests. And we interviewed Chris Stefano about filling in as host of Jimmy Kimmel Live and The End of Colbert in a separate video that you can watch right here on Joke World after this. But as far as new stand-up comedy specials that are either out right now or gonna come out soon, just like the last week, this summer still does not have a lot of quantity, but there are 2 new quality specials out right now, including Joe DeRosa, I Never Promised You a Rose Garden on YouTube, and Dusty Slay, Wet Heat out on Netflix. There's also gonna be 2 new specials coming out in the first half of August. That list starts with Mark Maron Panicked, debuting on HBO Max August 1st, and Jim Jeffries' 2-Limb Policy coming to Netflix on the 12th. And not technically stand-up specials, but the newest episode of Dr. Phil Live has a sick lineup that features Dan Soder, Matt McCusker, and Ari Maddie. We also have Jeffrey Asmus releasing a full hour of new stand-up from Columbus, and Josh Johnson put out another 40 minutes last Tuesday on his channel as well. And last but not least, if you are interested in learning more about the recent cancellation of Stephen Colbert and the entire Late Show franchise, check out last week's Comedy News Update for a full breakdown of that situation and more clips from our interview with Chrissy D.
How was that experience overall, and what was it like getting your first taste of hosting late night TV the same week that they canceled Colbert?
Well, that's what it is. I'm Chrissy Timing. I'm the king of timing. I proved that I could be the next late night show host. I proved I can do it right just in time for them to be canceling every single late night show that's ever been created. They are all going away within the next year. So it's perfect timing for me. But you know what I'll say? It's different than podcasting, because podcasting, you kind of have to be in charge of it all, think of the topics, the ideas, kind of free flow thought. The Jimmy Kimmel show, the Jimmy Kimmel Live show, their staff is so incredible. They have, I believe, a staff of like 200 people. And so you just got to control your little part. And you have so many people that do their job so well, because Jimmy, you know, it all starts at the top, and Jimmy runs like such a good, like professional tight ship that like everything down from Jimmy is just amazing. Like I really can't say enough. Like a lot of times people will just like glaze, you know, the guy that gave them an opportunity just to glaze them, to like brown nose. And that's not this. This is like, I'm genuinely impressed with how great the staff is and how everyone just knows how to do their job at such a high level that it's one of those things where like truly, you know, I felt good about my performance, but it's really because like they made it so easy for me. Like all I had to do was control the things that they told me to do. And I did that. And it was like, oh, you know, not that it's easy, but I was like, they made it feel so easy for me because it's just such a well-run, oiled machine. And that is exactly the statement I'll say in court when I'm inevitably called to the witness stand soon.
Thank you so much for watching this entire video right here on Joke World. And as always, free stickers are available on Instagram or checking out the link down below. However, if you've watched this entire thing, I assume you probably already know about the free stickers. Hell, you might already have some free stickers. So hopefully you're just still here to get a peep at that end screen like a little pervert.
At Joke World. That's it, at Joke World.
And the world is WRLD.
That's a great YouTube channel, Joke World. Check it out.